The human mechanic's hands were still inside the quantum drive when the alarm shrieked. Marcus jerked back, splitting his knuckle on the crystalline housing, and the entire dreadnought shuddered. Not the gentle hum of a ship coming online. This was wrong. The energy signature spiked so hard his tools began vibrating across the deck plating. He'd seen core breaches before. This felt worse. Step away from the drive. The voice came from behind him, precise and cold. Marcus turned slowly, blood dripping from his hand. The Royal Guard stood 3 meters away, their armor reflecting the pulsing red emergency lights. Four-armed, perfectly still, plasma rifle aimed at his chest. Behind them, in the doorway, stood Queen Ashirin herself. Her translucent skin glowed faintly blue, her 6 eyes fixed on him with an expression he couldn't read. She was supposed to be in the throne chamber. She was never supposed to be here. "Your Radiance," the guard said without looking away from Marcus. "The human has accessed the primary core without authorization." "I was repairing it," Marcus said quickly. His tablet lay on the floor, diagnostic readings scrolling across the screen. "You brought me here to fix your ship. The drive was failing." I found the problem. Silence. The guard's rifle didn't waver. Queen Asherin moved forward with that unsettling grace her species had, like floating through water. She stopped beside the open drive housing and looked inside. Her smaller arms folded across her chest while her primary hands clasped behind her back. The silence stretched. Marcus's pulse hammered in his ears. Through the viewport behind her, he could see the rest of her fleet, 70 warships holding position around the Terran quarantine zone. Holding position around Earth. "Captain Vess," she said finally, still looking at the drive, "lower your weapon." The guard hesitated. "My queen, protocol demands." Protocol. Ashirin's voice carried no anger, just a weight that made the air feel heavy. Protocol also demands that saboteurs be executed immediately. Yet this human still breathes. "Lower your weapon, Captain, and tell me what you see." The rifle lowered slightly. Captain Vess moved closer, photoreceptors narrowing as they examined the drive. Marcus saw the moment they understood. The captain's secondary arms twitched, the Kiathi equivalent of shock. "The containment seals," Vess whispered. "They were deliberately corroded. This would have detonated within the hour." "Killing everyone aboard," Ashirin said, "including myself. And this human, who is supposed to be safely locked in the repair bay, somehow detected the sabotage and came here to prevent it." Her eyes shifted to Marcus. "How?" Marcus swallowed. "I heard your daughter." "In the corridor. She was talking to her tutor about the parade route tomorrow, about how you'd be inspecting the fleet at midday, and I realized if someone wanted you dead, they'd time it for when you were aboard the flagship, surrounded by witnesses, making it look like human sabotage." "You speak our language," Vess said. It wasn't a question. "I listen." Marcus held up his tablet. "I've been monitoring the fleet's energy signatures since you brought me here. 3 ships showed anomalies. This one and 2 others. I tried to warn the dock officer, but you are human," Ashirin finished, "and we do not listen to humans. We barely acknowledge you exist beyond your usefulness as laborers." She reached into the drive housing with one delicate primary hand and extracted a small device. Marcus had seen it when he was working, a temporal accelerant, military grade, designed to speed up chemical reactions. In this case, speeding up the corrosion that would breach the containment seals. Captain Vess, who had access to this chamber, the Engineering Guild, the Royal Maintenance Staff, and Vess's voice trailed off. "And the Council representatives who inspected the flagship yesterday?" Ashirin turned the device over in her hand. "The same council pushing for the complete annihilation of Earth. The same council who believes I am weak for allowing the Terran quarantine instead of immediate extermination." She looked at Marcus. "They would murder me and blame your species, giving them the perfect justification for genocide." Marcus's throat went dry. "How many humans are still on Earth?" 14 billion, Ashirin said quietly. 14 billion lives that the Council sees as a contamination requiring sterilization. The ship shuddered again, harder this time. Vess touched their communication device. "Report. Ships 7 and 19 are experiencing core fluctuations," a voice crackled back. "Evacuations underway." "The other 2 ships with anomalies," Marcus said. "If they detonate, the fleet will interpret it as a Terran attack," Vess said. "The Council will have their war." Ashirin moved to the viewport. Beyond the fleet, Earth hung in space like a blue marble. Marcus had been born there, in the ruins of what used to be called Seattle, before the Kiathi arrived and decided humanity was too dangerous to join the galactic community. Too violent. Too unpredictable. They'd quarantined the entire planet, forbidden humans from leaving, and for 20 years Earth had been a prison, and now someone wanted to turn it into a grave. "Can you stop it?" Ashirin asked, still looking at Earth. "Maybe," Marcus said. "If I can reach those ships in time. If the sabotage follows the same pattern. If I can convince the crews to let me near their course without shooting me. You would save us," Ashirin said, "even knowing what we've done to your world. Even knowing that most of my people would watch your species burn without hesitation." Marcus thought of his sister, still on Earth. His nephew, who'd never seen a sky without Kiathi warships in it. "Wouldn't you?" Ashirin's silence was answer enough. She touched her communication collar. "This is Queen Asheran. I am commandeering the royal shuttle. Clear the bay and plot intercept courses for ships 7 and 19. Priority Alpha." "Your Radiance," Vess began. "If you leave the flagship now with the sabotage discovered, then the saboteurs will know their plan has failed and may accelerate their timeline." Ashirin's voice remained calm, but Marcus saw the tension in her secondary arms. "Which is why you will announce nothing. Maintain normal operations. And you, Captain, will accompany the human to those ships. You will need someone the crews will actually listen to. And you, my queen?" As Ashirin finally turned from the viewport, her eyes found Marcus, and in them he saw something he'd never expected to find in a Kiathi royal: doubt. Not about her decision, but about everything she'd been taught, everything her people believed. "I will do what I should have done 20 years ago," she said. "I will listen to a human." The shuttle bay was chaos controlled by absolute discipline. Marcus ran beside Captain Vess while maintenance crews prepped the royal shuttle, a sleek vessel that looked more like a work of art than a spacecraft. Ashirin was already aboard, her personal guard forming a perimeter. Marcus had no illusions about his status. He was being allowed to board because the Queen commanded it, but one wrong move and Vess's rifle would end him.